My daughter-in-law is here with some guys. She says she's the new owner and she's taking the furniture. David's voice sounds nervous on the phone. It's 5 in the morning, and I'm at the beach house still in bed with the window open, letting in the ocean breeze. I came here after Ethan's wedding looking for peace distance, a break from everything I've been feeling these past months. I sit up slowly in bed. I don't feel panic. I don't feel surprise. I feel something strange, almost like satisfaction. Don't stop her, David. My voice comes out calm, steady. Let her in. She's going to find a surprise. There's a confused silence on the other end. Are you sure, Mrs. Emily? Completely sure. Let her through with her guys. Just make sure she signs the log with her full name and ID. I hang up and open the app on my phone right away. The security cameras I installed 3 weeks ago. Nobody knows about them. Not Ethan, not Sarah, not even my friend Linda. They're small, hidden, placed strategically in every corner of the apartment. Living room, kitchen, bedrooms, front door. All streaming live and recording straight to the cloud. The feed pops up on the screen. There she is. Sarah Land, my daughter-in-law of just 4 months. Standing in the lobby of my building, talking to the guys with her. 3 big dudes in moving company uniforms. One carries empty boxes. Another checks something on a paper. Sarah has her hair tied back, workout clothes, like she's here for a jog. But her face shows something else. Anxiety rush determination. I see her talk to David. She gestures a lot, points toward the elevator. I can't hear what she's saying, but I read her lips and it makes me grip the phone harder. It's my right. It belongs to me now. I tap the screen and switch to the camera in the hallway on my floor. It's still empty. Quiet. My apartment door closed. Untouched. I switch back to the lobby feed. Sarah's already stepping into the elevator with the 3 guys. David stays behind watching them go, his face worried. Good man. He's worked in that building since I moved in 10 years ago. He knows my routine, knows I've been alone since I became a widow, always greets me with respect. I breathe deep. My heart beats fast now, but not from fear. It's anticipation. Like when you know something big is about to happen and you, for the first time in a long time, have control. The elevator goes up. 6th floor, 7th, 8th, 9th. My apartment is on the 10th. I watch the doors open and Sarah steps out, first hurried, followed by the guys. She walks straight to my door, pulls something from her bag. A key. My key. The image is clear. The hallway camera catches everything. Sarah slides the key into the lock, turns it, and the door opens. They all go in. The apartment lights turn on, and then I switch to the indoor cameras. There they are, in my living room. Sarah looks around with that expression I've seen before, calculating, assessing, like she's appraising every object, every piece of furniture, every detail of my life. The guys wait for instructions. That sofa first. I hear her say clearly, the camera audio is perfect, and that table, careful with the vases, those are expensive. One of the guys looks at her strangely. You sure the owner gave permission? Sarah shoots him an annoyed look. I'm the owner now. My mother-in-law signed it all over to me. This old lady can't take care of these things anymore. It's better if they're with me. I stay still, staring at the screen, hearing every word. Old lady. Can't take care of. The same phrases I've heard from her for months, but now said with that confidence. That certainty that I'm not there to argue. Another guy asks, and the paperwork. We usually need to see something in writing. Sarah pulls a paper from her bag, shows it quick without letting them read it well. Here it is. All legal. Now move it. We have to finish before it gets light out. Before it gets light out. Before anyone sees. Before the neighbors wake up and ask questions. Before someone calls the cops. But it's already too late for that. Because while she's talking, while the guys start lifting my furniture, while Sarah checks the drawers of my sideboard looking for who knows what, the cameras record everything. Every move, every word, and not just that, the app already sent an automatic alert to my lawyer, Olivia Rogers, and to the nearest police station. I set up that system 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks after the dinner at Ethan's where I felt sick, 3 weeks after starting to notice weird things, 3 weeks after overhearing Sarah talk quietly on the phone about speeding up the process. I look back at the screen. Sarah's in my bedroom now. I see her open my closet, check my vanity stick, her hand in my jewelry box. She pulls out a necklace my late husband gave me for our 20th anniversary, holds it up to the light, smiles and stuffs it in her pocket. This one's coming with me too. One of the guys appears in the doorway. "Ma'am, there's a lot of stuff here. You taking everything Sarah turns, everything worth it. My mother-in-law doesn't need it anymore. She's in a better place now." The way she says it. Like I'm already dead. Like my life is over and she's just picking up the scraps. I close my eyes for a moment. Breathe deep. The sound of the waves calms me. When I open them again, I tap another icon on the app. The cameras have a special feature. They can record conversations even when people think they're talking in private. Sarah's back in the living room. She pulls out her phone and calls someone. Waits, then speaks. "I'm in." "Yeah, with the key I grabbed last week." "No, she's not here. She's at the beach like always. This is going to be quick." Pause. She's listening to someone on the other end. "No, the tea didn't work. Looks like she stopped drinking it. But it doesn't matter now, this is enough. Once I have everything here, I'll get Ethan to sign the papers. He doesn't suspect a thing." Another pause, then a laugh. Of course he won't like it at first, but when he sees it's already done, what can he do? She doesn't have anyone else. We're her only family. My hand grips the phone, the tea thing. Those afternoons at Ethan's when Sarah insists I stay for a snack, when she makes that herbal tea she says is good for circulation, for sleep, for nerves. That tea, after which I always feel dizzy, confused, nauseous for hours. It wasn't my paranoia. It wasn't the imaginings of an older woman. It was real. Sarah keeps talking. "Look, with what's here we can sell for at least $20,000, and that's without the apartment. When we sell it, that's like $200,000 more. We'll be set for years." And she can't even claim it. By the time she finds out, it'll all be in our name. She hangs up, stands in the middle of my living room, looking around with that smile. Satisfied. Victorious. I stay sitting on the bed at the beach house, phone in hand, and tears I didn't know were there until one rolls down my cheek. It's not about the furniture. It's not about the money. It's about the betrayal. It's about realizing my son married someone capable of this. It's about all those times I doubted myself, thought I was overreacting, told myself I was just a jealous mother-in-law, a bitter old lady who couldn't share her son. But it wasn't that. Sarah Land planned to rob me. She tried to poison me. And now she's in my home, in my space, touching my things, taking my life piece by piece. I check the time. 5:25 a.m. The police must have gotten the alert by now. Olivia, too. Any minute now things are going to change. But before that happens, I need to understand how I got here. How a 60-year-old woman, widowed, independent, who raised her son alone after her husband died, who worked her whole life, who bought this apartment with her own money, ended up seen as an obstacle, something to clear out of the way. I need to remember where all this started. It all begins 4 months ago when Ethan calls to say he's met someone special. I'm at the salon with Linda next to me. Every week we go together Thursday afternoons. It's our ritual for years. We get our hair done, our nails catch up on our lives. Linda's 62, 2 years older than me, and widowed too. We met in a morning walking group at the park and have been inseparable since. When the phone rings and I see Ethan's name, I smile. My son doesn't call as often as before, but when he does, it always brightens my day. "Mom, I have to tell you something." His voice sounds different, excited, nervous. "Tell me, son, I met someone. An amazing woman. Her name's Sarah. We've been dating 3 months and I think she's the one." I stay still under the dryer. Linda looks at me curiously. 3 months, and I knew nothing. 3 months, and he never introduced her. I swallow the little sting in my chest and smile even though he can't see. "That's great news, Ethan. I'm so happy for you. I want you to meet her. How about you come over for dinner at my place Saturday, you and your friend Linda if she wants?" I accept. Of course I accept. He's my son, my only son. The man I raised alone after his dad died of a heart attack when Ethan was just 17. It's been 13 years since then. 13 years where my life revolved around making sure he was okay, that he finished college, got a good job, was happy. Saturday comes, and I go to his apartment with a bottle of wine and a dessert from Ethan's favorite bakery. Linda comes with me. She always says I need witnesses for the big moments in my life. Sarah opens the door. She's younger than I expected. 32 years old, I find out later, almost 15 years younger than Ethan. Tall, slim, long dark hair, perfect makeup, expensive clothes. She smiles wide when she sees us. "Mrs. Emily, so nice to meet you. At last, Ethan won't stop talking about you." She hugs me. It's a long, tight hug, like we're old friends. She smells of a sweet, strong perfume. We go in. Ethan's apartment looks different, more decorated. New pillows on the couch, pictures on the walls, scented candles lit. Sarah has great taste in decorating. Ethan calls from the kitchen, smiling proud. We have dinner. Sarah cooked. Meatloaf salad, baked potatoes. Everything looks nice, though a bit bland for my taste. But I eat and smile and say it's delicious because I see how Ethan looks at her waiting for my approval. During dinner, Sarah talks a lot about her job at an ad agency, her plans to start her own business someday, how wonderful Ethan is, how happy she is to have met him. She asks about my life, too. Where I work, if I'm retired, if I live alone, if I have lots of friends. It must be hard being alone in that big apartment, she says at one point with a sympathetic tone, especially at your age. At my age. I'm 60, not 80. I work part-time as an accounting consultant, go to the gym 3 times a week, have a group of friends I go out with regularly, drive my own car, pay my own bills, travel when I want. I don't feel alone. I don't feel incapable. But the way she says it like it's an obvious fact makes me uncomfortable. I'm fine, I reply simply. I like my independence. Sarah smiles. Of course. But still, if you ever need help with anything, Ethan and I are here. We're family now. Family. They've been dating 3 months and she's already talking family. Linda shoots me a side glance. I know that look. It's her way of saying, watch out. After dinner, Sarah insists on making tea. I brought some special herbs. They're great for digestion and relaxing. She comes back from the kitchen with 4 steaming mugs. It has a weird smell, something between mint and something more bitter I can't place. I drink a little out of politeness. Linda barely touches hers. Ethan downs his praising the taste. Sarah watches us as we drink, smiling. Half an hour later, I start feeling dizzy. A light dizziness at first, then stronger. The room seems to shift slightly. I tell Ethan I'd better go, that I'm tired. Linda drives me home in my own car because I don't feel up to it. I don't like that woman, Linda says when we're in the elevator going up to my apartment. There's something off about her. And that tea. Did you taste it? I noticed it too, but I don't want to admit it. I don't want to be that mother-in-law. That woman who never accepts anyone because no one's good enough for her son. The next weeks, Sarah starts showing up more in my life. Calls to invite me for coffee, texts asking how I am, surprise visits to the apartment with Ethan. Always nice, always smiling, always with that tone of concern that seems genuine but makes me feel watched. Are you eating well? Mrs. Emily? You look a little thin. Are you sleeping enough? You have bags under your eyes. Isn't it too much for you living alone on the 10th floor? What if something happens and no one knows? Each comment is like a drop of water. One alone means nothing. But when they build up, they start making a hole. Ethan changes too. He starts repeating Sarah's lines. Mom, you sure you're okay? Sarah says you look tired. Mom, wouldn't it be easier if you lived somewhere smaller? Mom, should you think about the future? What happens when you can't take care of yourself? I'm 60. I work, I go out, I travel. But suddenly, they make me feel like I'm on the edge of disability. A month later, Ethan calls with more news. They're getting married. In 3 months. Sarah already planned everything. A small, intimate wedding, just close family and some friends. I, of course, pay part of the costs. I'm the groom's mom. It's my responsibility. I chip in $5,000, money I've saved for years, money set aside for emergencies or a special trip. But it's my son's wedding. How can I say no? The wedding is beautiful. Sarah wears a stunning white dress that, according to Ethan, costs $3,000. Flowers everywhere, live music, fancy food, all very classy. I smile in the photos, hug my son, welcome Sarah to the family. But during the reception, I hear something that chills my blood. I'm in the bathroom touching up my makeup when I hear voices from the other side of the door. It's Sarah talking to someone. A friend, I guess. I tell you, this marriage is the best investment I've made. Ethan's easy to handle and the old lady has money. An apartment worth like $200,000 savings a beach house. And the best part is, she has no one else, just Ethan. It'll all be ours eventually. The other voice laughs. What if she doesn't want that? That's why I'm working on it. I already have her half convinced she's too old to handle her stuff. Give it a few more months and she'll be begging us to help. They leave the bathroom. I stay inside, gripping the sink, trying to breathe. It's not my imagination. I'm not paranoid. Sarah Land planned everything from the start. That night at the beach house where I go after the wedding, I make a decision. I'm not going to be a victim. I'm not going to let them steal what I've built. I'm not going to stay quiet while they treat me like a nuisance to shove aside. I call Olivia Rogers my lawyer and friend for years. I tell her everything, every weird detail, every out-of-place comment, every moment I felt manipulated. Emily, you need to protect yourself, she says, and you need proof, because if this goes legal, your word alone won't be enough. She's going to say you're confused, paranoid, that age is getting to you. It's Olivia's idea to install the cameras, small hidden ones with high-quality audio, all over my home, connected to an app on my phone, set to record everything and send auto alerts if someone enters without permission. If she tries anything, you'll have proof, Olivia says, and that proof will sink her. I installed the cameras 3 weeks ago. I changed the locks too, but in a smart way. I leave an old key hidden where I know Sarah will find it. I want her to think she still has access. I want her to feel safe. And it works. Because now, while I'm sitting at the beach house watching my phone, she's in my apartment stealing my things, confessing her plans, digging her own grave. 2 weeks after the wedding, when I'm still processing what I heard in the bathroom, Sarah starts the next phase of her plan. She invites me to lunch at her apartment. Well, now it's hers and Ethan's. He bought it 2 years ago with my help, a $15,000 loan he never paid back. But it didn't matter. He's my son. I wanted to help. I arrive with a plant as a housewarming gift. Sarah opens the door in an apron like she's been cooking all morning. The house smells like home-cooked food. She hugs me with that same over-the-top enthusiasm. Mrs. Emily, how nice. Come in, come in. Ethan's at work, but I wanted us to have some alone time to get to know each other better. We're family now. I sit on the couch, the same couch I helped Ethan buy. Sarah brings lemonade in tall glasses with ice and mint. As we drink, she asks about my daily routine. You still go to the gym 3 times a week. Doesn't it tire you out? No, I like it. Keeps me active. She nods with that understanding look. It's admirable, but you have to be careful. At a certain age, the body doesn't bounce back the same. My grandma fell at the gym 2 years ago, broke her hip, never walked right again. I take another sip of lemonade. It tastes off, too sweet with a bitter aftertaste. And that big apartment, Sarah continues. 10th floor, so many rooms. Don't you feel lonely there? Aren't you scared something happens and no one finds out I have friends nearby? Linda stops by often. Yeah, but still, a woman your age living alone. Ethan worries about you a lot, you know. He always says it stresses him thinking something bad could happen. My age, again. Like 60 means helpless. We have lunch, baked chicken with veggies. The food's okay though, bland again. Sarah insists I eat more serving big portions. After lunch she makes that tea again. The same from the first dinner. The same herbs with that weird smell. It's great for digestion and helps you sleep better. You mentioned you have insomnia sometimes. I never mentioned that. I sleep just fine. But she says it with such certainty that for a moment I doubt my own memory. I drink the tea out of politeness. This time the bitter taste is stronger. I force myself to finish it while Sarah watches with that fixed smile. Mrs. Emily, I want to talk about something important. She leans forward like sharing a secret. Ethan and I have been thinking. You have a lot of properties, a lot of responsibilities. The apartment, the beach house, the accounts, the taxes. Wouldn't it be easier if we helped manage all that? My heart beats faster. I manage my stuff fine. Of course. I'm not saying you can't. Just that sometimes it's good to have help. Someone younger who gets tech banks, all that modern stuff. We could make Ethan a co-owner, for example, just for safety. So if something happens to you, everything's in order. co-owner. That word hits like ice water. I don't think that's necessary. Sarah keeps the smile, but something shifts in her eyes. Well, think about it. It's just a suggestion. We just want to take care of you. Half an hour later, I start feeling bad again. The same dizziness from the first time. Nausea. The room shifts slightly. I say I'd better go. Sarah insists on calling a cab, saying I'm not in shape to drive. She's right. I'm not. In the cab on the way home, I open my WhatsApp. I have messages from the gym friends group pics from Linda at the park, a video from my niece in Spain. Real people, real life, reminding me I'm not alone or useless like Sarah wants me to feel. The next days, Sarah's calls and texts ramp up. Good morning, Mrs. Emily. Good afternoon. How'd you sleep? What did you do today? Each message disguised as concern, but it feels like surveillance. Ethan starts asking weird questions too. Mom, did you pay the electric bill this month? And the water? You sure like suddenly I'm incapable of remembering to pay my own bills. Bills I've paid for 40 years, no problem. One afternoon I'm at the salon with Linda when Sarah shows up unannounced. Rings the buzzer, comes up without me saying yes, gets to my door with a grocery bag. I brought you some things. Fruit, bread, milk. I was in the area and thought of you. Linda's sitting in my living room. She looks at Sarah with that expression I know. Distrust. How thoughtful, I say, taking the bag. I didn't invite her in, but she walks in anyway. What a big apartment. She strolls through the living room looking at everything touching the furniture. And these paintings, they're valuable. They were my husband's. Beautiful. Must be hard keeping all this clean. So many rooms, so much stuff. Haven't you thought about simplifying? Selling some things, moving to something smaller, more manageable? Linda stands up. Emily handles her home just fine. Sarah looks at her like she just noticed her. Of course, I'm just saying sometimes less is more. Especially as you get older. Getting older. Like I'm on the brink of senility. After she leaves, Linda explodes. That woman's a snake. Don't you see what she's doing? She's undermining you, little by little, making you doubt yourself. Setting the stage for something. I know, I admit finally. I heard something at her wedding. She married Ethan for the money, for my properties. Linda goes quiet for a moment. And what are you going to do? I don't know yet. But I need to be smart. If I confront her now, she'll deny everything. She'll say I'm paranoid. That age is getting to me, and Ethan will believe her. She's got him so wrapped. I nod. Since they got married, Ethan's a different person. Repeats everything she says. Looks at me different. Like I'm a burden. The next day, Sarah sends another text. We need to talk about something important. Can you come for dinner tonight? I go. Against my better judgment, I go. Because I still have that small hope I'm wrong. That Sarah really cares. That my son didn't trade me for a woman who only sees dollar signs where family should be. Dinner is tense. Ethan's quiet. Sarah talks nonstop. After dessert, she pulls out papers. Mrs. Emily, we prepared something. She puts them on the table. It's a power of attorney. Simple, nothing complicated. Just so Ethan can help you with your bank accounts, payments, properties. You just sign here. I look at the papers. My name's typed there. Blanks for my signature. Legal words I barely understand. I'm not signing anything without my lawyer reviewing it first. Sarah's face hardens for a split second. Then the smile's back. Of course it's smart to be careful, but this is just to make things easier for you, so you don't have to worry about anything. I'm not worried. I handle my stuff fine. Mom. Ethan speaks finally. His voice sounds tired. We're just trying to help. Why make it so hard? Why make it hard like taking care of my own things is stubbornness, not common sense? I stand. I'm leaving. Sarah stands too. Okay, take the papers. Think it over calmly. But really, Mrs. Emily, this is for your own good. We just want to protect you. Protect you. That word haunts me all the way home. Because I know when people say they want to protect you, sometimes what they really want is to control you. The week after I refuse to sign the papers, everything gets worse. Ethan stops answering my calls as often. When he does, his replies are short, cold. Sarah, on the other hand, calls more, always with that sweet, worried voice that now sets my nerves on edge. Mrs. Emily Ethan's really sad. He says you don't trust him, that you rejected him when he just wanted to help. I'm at the park with my walking group, 5 women between 55 and 68, all widowed or divorced, all independent. We meet 3 times a week at 6 a.m. to walk 3 miles around the lake, then grab coffee at the kiosk and share our lives. I didn't reject anyone. I tell Sarah, stepping away from the group a bit. I just said I needed to review the papers with my lawyer. That's normal. Yeah, but Ethan felt like you don't trust him, like you think he'll do something bad. Sarah, these are my properties. I have the right to be careful. There's a silence. Then her voice shifts slightly. Colder. Of course you're right. Well, I hope your lawyer tells you everything's in order. We just want what's best for you, even if you don't see it that way. She hangs up. I go back to my friends. Susan Davis, the oldest in the group, looks at me worried. Everything okay? My daughter-in-law. Ah, Susan knows the story. They all do. I've told them everything. That woman needs clear boundaries. I know, but it's hard. Ethan's completely on her side. Tina Peterson, who's 61 and was a nurse for 30 years, comes closer. Emily, you still getting those dizzy spells after visiting them? Yeah, every time I drink that tea she makes. Don't take anything she gives you anymore. Nothing. No food, no drink, nothing. You think she could really be putting something in it? Tina looks at me serious. I've seen cases. People use herbs, meds, anything to make someone seem confused, sick, incapable. Then they say the person needs help, can't take care of themselves, and they end up taking control of everything. Her words chill me, because it makes sense. All of it makes sense. That afternoon, I go see Olivia Rogers. Her office is downtown, an old but well-kept building. Olivia's 65, full white hair, cut short, thick glasses, and a sharp, legal mind. She's been my lawyer since my husband died. I show her the papers Sarah wanted me to sign. Olivia reads them quietly. Her expression gets more serious. Finally, she sets them on her desk and looks at me. Emily, if you'd signed this, you'd basically be giving Ethan full power over all your accounts, your properties, your financial decisions. They could sell your apartment without your consent. They could empty your bank accounts. They could do whatever they want. I feel the air leave me, but Sarah said it was just to help me, to help themselves. This isn't a help document. It's a power transfer, and it's worded very cleverly. Any judge seeing it would think you're not fit to handle your own affairs. What do I do? Olivia leans back in her chair. First, never sign anything without checking with me. Second, we need to protect you legally. I'll draft documents that clearly state you're in full mental capacity, you make your own decisions, and no one has authority over your assets except you. Third, and this is key, you need proof of what's going on. What kind of proof? Recordings text anything that shows they're manipulating you, because if this hits court, and I suspect it might, your word alone won't cut it. They'll say you're confused, age is affecting you, you need help. They'll paint you as a senile old lady who doesn't know what she's doing. That word old lady, like being 60, automatically makes me invalid. And if I install cameras in my apartment? Olivia raises an eyebrow. Cameras. To record if they try to enter without permission or say something incriminating when they're there. It's your property. You have every right to install security cameras. And yeah, they could be useful as evidence. I leave her office with a plan. That same afternoon, I search online, find small wireless cameras with high-def audio. They connect to a phone app, record automatically on motion detection, store everything in the cloud. They cost $800 for a pack of 6. I buy them without a second thought. They arrive 3 days later. I spend a whole afternoon setting them up. In the living room hidden behind a picture frame. In the kitchen on top of the fridge. In my bedroom on the bookshelf. In the dining room in a decorative plant. In the study behind some books. In the entryway camouflaged in the smoke detector. I download the app, set up notifications, test that they work. All perfect. I also change my apartment locks, but smartly. I hire a locksmith and have him leave the old lock in place, but useless, and put a new one right below. From outside, it looks like just one lock, but the old key Sarah probably copied doesn't work anymore. And then I wait. I don't have to wait long. 2 days later, I'm at the grocery store when my phone buzzes. Camera notification. Motion detected in the apartment. I open the app. My heart races. It's Sarah. In my living room. Alone. Walking slowly. Looking at everything. She opens the drawers of my sideboard. Checks the papers there. Takes photos with her phone of some documents. Then goes to my bedroom. Opens my closet. Checks my jewelry box. Takes a ring my husband gave me and stuffs it in her bag. She stays almost 20 minutes in my apartment, snooping, photographing, touching my things, like they're already hers. When she leaves, I sit in the middle of the grocery aisle, shopping cart forgotten beside me, staring at my phone. My hands shake. It's not paranoia, it's real. Sarah's planning to rob me. That night, Ethan calls. "Mom, Sarah says you're not treating her well, you're ignoring her, you're cold to her." "Ethan, how did Sarah get into my apartment today?" Silence. "What? She was in my apartment this afternoon. You gave her a key. She said she needed to pick up something you lent her. I didn't lend her anything. And she was going through my drawers, my documents, my personal stuff. You think that's normal?" "Mom, don't start with your theories. Sarah wants to help you and you just push her away. You're being paranoid." Paranoid. That word again. "Ethan, I have cameras. I recorded her. Going through my stuff. Taking photos of my documents. Stealing a ring." Another silence. Longer. "Cameras. Since when do you have cameras?" "Since I started suspecting something was wrong. This is ridiculous. You're spying on your own family. Mom, I think you need help. Professional help. Maybe talk to a doctor about this." A doctor. They want to declare me unfit, mentally ill, convenient. I don't need a doctor. "Ethan, I need you to understand your wife isn't who she says she is. I'm not listening to this. Sarah's my wife. And if you can't accept her, maybe we need some distance." He hangs up. I stay with the phone in hand in my empty apartment, feeling everything crumble. My only son just chose a woman he's known for months over the mother who raised him alone for 13 years. But I'm not giving up. I call Olivia, tell her everything, send her the camera videos. "This is perfect," she says. "We have evidence of trespassing. And if she stole something, it's theft too. Emily, you've got her. And now what? Now we wait. Let her think she's in control. Let her keep moving. The more she does, the more evidence we have. It's the hardest advice to follow, because every fiber of me wants to confront her, yell at her, show her I know. But I stay quiet and wait." The ultimate humiliation comes at the family lunch Sarah organizes 2 weeks later. She calls me Tuesday morning. Her voice sounds cheerful, like nothing happened. Like, "I don't know, she broke into my apartment, stole my ring, photographed my documents. Mrs. Emily, I want us all together this Sunday. A family lunch. I'm inviting my mom and brother too. It'll be nice for you to meet." I almost say no. But then I remember Olivia's words. Let her think she's in control. The more she does, the more evidence we have. Okay, I'll be there. Perfect. "And Mrs. Emily, please bring the beach house documents. Ethan and I want to help organize the tax papers. You know that stuff gets complicated at a certain age. At a certain age." Every time she says it, it's like a little jab. Sunday. I arrive at their apartment at noon. Ring the bell, and Sarah opens. She's in an elegant dress, perfect makeup, beaming smile. "Mrs. Emily, so glad to see you. Come in, come in." In the living room are Ethan, an older woman, I guess is Sarah's mom, and a young guy around 30, who must be her brother. There's also another couple I don't know. They're Ron and Olivia Owens, my aunts and uncles. Sarah says, "Not the Olivia who's my lawyer, obviously. Another Olivia." I sit on the couch. Sarah's mom looks me up and down with an expression I can't read. The brother doesn't even greet me, just nods while checking his phone. Sarah brings wine. I politely decline and ask for water. I'm not drinking anything she gives me. I've learned that lesson. During lunch, Sarah dominates the talk. She chats about her business plans, how well Ethan's doing at work, how happy they are together. I eat quietly, answering only when asked directly. After dessert, Sarah changes her tone. "Well, now that we're all family, there's something important we want to share." She looks at Ethan. He looks uncomfortable but nods. We've been worried about Mrs. Emily. All eyes turn to me. Lately we've noticed she's very forgetful. Sarah continues with that soft, concerned voice. She forgets things. Gets dates mixed up. The other day she called thinking it was Thursday when it was Sunday. That's a lie. It never happened. And she's been very paranoid, she adds. Installed cameras in her apartment because she thinks someone's spying on her. Accuses us of things we didn't do. Sarah's mom makes a pity sound. Poor thing. It's normal at that age. My mom was the same before we had to put her in a home. I feel heat rise to my face. I'm not confused. And I installed the cameras because someone entered my apartment without permission. Sarah looks at me with that infinite patience expression, like looking at a kid saying nonsense. Mrs. Emily, I came in because you told me I could pick up that book you lent me. You don't remember. I never lent you any book. See? Sarah looks at the others. This is what I mean. She doesn't remember things. Ethan jumps in. Mom, we're worried, for real. Living alone in that big apartment isn't safe for you anymore. You've had falls. I've never fallen. You fell in the bathroom 2 weeks ago. You told me on the phone. That wasn't true either. I never said that. Sarah's brother speaks for the first time. Look, lady, I know it's hard to accept, but my grandma was the same. Started denying anything was wrong. Ended up lost on the street, no idea of her address. I stand. I'm not staying here listening to this. Sarah stands too. Mrs. Emily, please, sit down. This is important. We love you. We want to help. That's why we prepared a solution. She pulls papers from a folder on the table. Papers different from the first time. We talked to a lawyer. This is a voluntary guardianship. Basically, you agree you need help managing your affairs and authorize us to do it for you. It's the best, so you can live peacefully without worrying about anything. I look at the papers, then look at Ethan. My son, the man I raised, won't meet my eyes. I'm not signing that. Sarah's mask slips for a second. I see pure rage in her eyes. But she recovers fast. Mrs. Emily, if you don't sign voluntarily, we'll have to start a legal process. We have witnesses. She points to everyone in the room. Everyone here can confirm you're not well, that you're confused, that you need help. A judge will order a psych eval, and when that eval shows you can't take care of yourself, they'll assign a guardian anyway. Better if it's family, don't you think? It's a trap, a perfect trap. If I sign, I lose everything. If I don't, they'll force it legally, and they have witnesses ready to lie for her. I feel something break inside me. It's not fear. It's not sadness. It's cold, absolute clarity. I need to use the bathroom. Sarah smiles. Sure. First door on the left. I go to the bathroom, close the door, pull out my phone. Text Olivia, my real lawyer. They're trying to force me to sign a guardianship. They have fake witnesses. I need help. Her reply comes in seconds. Don't sign anything. Get out of there. I'll start legal action right away. We have the recordings. This is coercion. I breathe deep. Wash my face. Look in the mirror. See a 60-year-old woman. Tired, yes. Scared, too, but not beaten. I come out of the bathroom. Everyone waits in silence. I'm not signing, I say clearly, and if you try to force me, my lawyer will take legal action against all of you for coercion and fraud. Sarah stands. Fraud. How dare you? I know exactly what you're doing. I know you broke into my apartment. I know you stole my ring. I know you've been making up stories about me to make me seem unfit, and I have proof of everything. The room goes dead silent. Ethan looks at me finally. Mom, what are you talking about? Ask your wife about the gold ring she took from my jewelry box 2 weeks ago. Ask her about the photos she took of my documents. Ask her about her phone calls where she talks about my apartment like it's already hers. Sarah laughs, a nervous laugh. This is ridiculous. Ethan, see what I mean? She's delusional. I have recordings. I say simply. The color drains from her face. Cameras with audio all over my apartment. Recording every time someone enters. Storing everything in the cloud. And my lawyer has copies of it all. I turn to Ethan. Son, I love you. But your wife married you for money, for my money, for my properties, and she's been trying to make me seem unfit to take it all. That's not true. Sarah's voice is high now. Ethan don't believe her. She's sick. She's seeing things that aren't there. But Ethan looks at her different now, like he's finally seeing something that's been there all along. I grab my bag. I'm leaving, and next time someone enters my apartment without permission, I'll call the police. I walk out. No one stops me. In the elevator going down, my hands shake. I broke the silence. I showed my hand, but I had no choice. Outside in my car, I sit for a long time. The phone rings. It's Linda. How was lunch? Horrible. I'll tell you later. You okay? No, I'm not okay, but I will be. I drive to the beach house. I need to be away. I need to think. I need to prepare for what's coming. Because now Sarah knows I know. And desperate people do desperate things. That same night from the beach house, I call Olivia. I need to protect myself. Legally. Now. We meet the next day. She comes to the beach with a folder full of documents. We sit on the deck, waves crashing in the background, while she explains each step we're taking. First, we'll do a full psych eval with a certified professional to prove you're in full mental capacity, no dementia, no confusion, nothing to justify a guardianship. I nod. How long does that take? A week, maybe 2. Several sessions, cognitive tests, interviews. But it's crucial, because when Sarah tries to say you're unfit, we'll have recent medical evidence against it. What else will update your will? And add specific clauses. No property can be sold or transferred without your express, notarized approval. Any change needs 2 independent witnesses. Basically, we'll lock it all down. I take mental notes of everything. You also need to switch bank accounts, open new ones at another bank, transfer your money there. Accounts only you access. Don't even tell Ethan they exist. And the beach house. That's only in your name, right? Yeah, I bought it 5 years ago with my work money. Good. We'll make sure that's crystal clear in all records. And we'll install cameras here too. If Sarah tries to enter, we'll know. I spend the next days executing the plan. I go to a forensic psychologist, Olivia recommends. Dr. John Harris, a 50-year-old with 30 years' experience evaluating mental capacity. He does memory tests, reasoning time and space orientation. Asks about my life routines, financial decisions. It's thorough, but when we're done, he gives his verdict. Mrs. Anderson, you're fully capable. No signs of cognitive decline, no confusion, nothing to justify anyone making decisions for you. I'll write a full report. And if needed, testify in court. I leave his office with relief, mixed with anger. Relief because I have confirmation. Anger because I needed confirmation in the first place. Because my own family made me doubt my sanity. I open new bank accounts at a different bank across town. Transfer my savings. $53,000 built up over years. Money that means my security, my independence, my future. I update my will. The new clauses are clear. If anything happens to me, the apartment and beach house gets sold and the money goes to a foundation helping older women. Nothing to Ethan while married to Sarah. Olivia's the executor. It's drastic, I admit while signing. But I can't risk it. It's smart, Olivia says. And you can change it later if things improve. But for now, you're protected. I install more cameras at the beach house, beef up the locks. Leave clear instructions with neighbors that no one enters without my direct okay. During those days, Ethan calls several times. I don't answer. I'm not ready. Maybe never will be. And I have to accept that possibility. Sarah calls too, leaves voicemails. At first worried sweet. Mrs. Emily, please answer. We're worried. What happened Sunday was a misunderstanding. Then the messages changed tone. You can't hide forever. We need to resolve this. And finally, veiled threats. If you don't talk to us, we'll have to take legal steps. For your own good, I save every message, every recording. It's all evidence. A week later, I go back to the city. I have a meeting with Olivia at her office. When I arrive, she has a grave look. Emily. Sarah and Ethan started a legal process. They're asking for an eval of your mental capacity. Claim you pose a danger to yourself. I feel a pit in my stomach. They can do that. They can try. But we're ready. We have your psych eval. We have the camera recordings. We have evidence Sarah trespassed in your apartment, stole items, has been slandering you. When we present that to the judge, their case crumbles. When's the hearing? In 2 weeks. But before that, I have something else to show you." She opens her laptop, pulls up a video file. It's a recording from my apartment cameras. From 3 days ago, when I was at the beach. On the screen, Sarah appears, but this time, not alone. With a man. Tall, thin, with a briefcase. "Who's that?" I ask. "Keep watching." In the video, Sarah and the man walk through my apartment. She shows him each room. He takes notes, snaps photos, like he's appraising the property. "He's a real estate agent," Olivia says. "Sarah's trying to sell your apartment. My apartment. The place I've lived 10 years. The home I built after my husband died. Selling it behind my back. But she can't without my signature. Not legally. But listen to what they say." She turns up the volume. Sarah's voice comes clear. "The apartment's worth around $200,000. Maybe more. Great location. My mother-in-law's going into a nursing home soon, so we need to sell fast." The agent asks. "You have the papers in order?" "Almost. We're in the process of getting guardianship. Once we have it, we can proceed with the sale right away. And she's okay with this." Sarah laughs. "She's not in any condition to agree or not. That's why we need guardianship. But don't worry, it'll all be legal." The video ends. I stare at the black screen. A nursing home. They want to stick me in a nursing home, sell my apartment, take my money, erase me from my own life. "There's more," Olivia says. She opens another file, this time an audio recording, a phone call. Sarah's voice talking to someone. "I found the perfect nursing home, costs $1,000 a month. With the money from selling the apartment, we can cover years. And meanwhile, we keep the beach house. We can use it or sell it too. That's another $100,000 easy." The other voice sounds like her brother asks, "What if she fights it?" "She can't fight. Once we have guardianship, she has no say. And if she makes a scene, it just proves she's crazy. It's perfect." I close my eyes. The pain in my chest is physical, real, like something broke inside. "When did you record this?" I ask. 2 days ago. The cameras caught her call when she was in your living room, casually talking about disposing of your life. I open my eyes. The sadness turns into something else. Something cold and hard. "What else did the cameras catch?" Olivia looks at me, serious. "There's more. And it's serious." She opens a third video, dated a week ago. Sarah's in my kitchen, alone. Opens the cabinet where I keep spices, pulls a small vial from her bag, empties it into my sugar container, then mixes with a spoon, puts the empty vial back in her bag, and leaves. "What was that?" My voice sounds strange, distant. "We don't know, but we need to find out. You still have that sugar. I haven't been in the apartment in a week." "Good. We're going now. We'll take a sample and get it analyzed at a lab. We go right away. Enter my apartment with gloves." Olivia pulls out a sealable bag, opens the sugar container. With a clean spoon, takes a sample, seals it. "I'll take this to a private lab. We'll know what it is in 48 hours. Those 48 hours are the longest of my life. I can't sleep. I can't eat. I just think about that vial, about Sarah mixing something in my sugar, about all the times I had coffee with sugar in the last weeks, about the dizziness, about the confusion. When Olivia calls with results, I already know it's bad. It was a sedative, benzodiazepines in high doses, enough to cause disorientation, dizziness, memory issues. If you'd kept using it, it would have caused symptoms that look like dementia. I sit slowly. She was poisoning me. "Yeah, and we have the video evidence." "Emily, this isn't just financial manipulation anymore. This is attempted physical harm. This is criminal." 2 days after finding out about the poison, I'm at the beach house when the alarm goes off. 5 a.m. The phone buzzes against the table. "David, the security guard. Your daughter-in-law is here with some guys. She says she's the new owner and she's taking the furniture." I open the camera app. There she is, Sarah Land, standing in my building lobby with 3 big guys moving company uniforms and a truck parked outside. "Don't stop her, David. Let her in. She's going to find a surprise." I hang up and call Olivia right away. She answers on the second ring voice alert. "Emily, what happened? Sarah's at my building. Coming to take my furniture, with guys in a truck." "Perfect. Don't do anything. The cameras are recording everything. I'll call the police now. Give them your apartment address. Break-in in progress. What if they take stuff before they arrive? Better. More charges. Just stay calm. This is exactly what we needed. She hangs up. I stay sitting on the bed, heart racing, staring at my phone screen. I watch Sarah talk to David, how he, following my instructions, asks her to sign the log with full name and ID, how she does it without hesitation, convinced she has every right. I see them enter the elevator, go up floor by floor, reach the 10th, walk down the hall to my door. Sarah pulls a key from her bag, the old key that doesn't work, slides it in the lock, turns. Nothing. Tries again. Nothing. I see her curse. One of the guys asks something. She checks her bag, pulls another key, probably a copy she made, doesn't work either. Wait here, she tells the guys, pulls out her phone, calls someone. From her lip movements I read she says Ethan's name, waits. Call goes to voicemail, calls again. Same. I see her breathe deep, put the phone away, look at the door determined. Then she kneels and pulls something else from her bag. A thin card. Tries to jimmy the lock. This is illegal, one of the guys says. Ma'am, if you don't have a key, we can't go in. I have the right to enter. This is my property now. My mother-in-law signed it over to me. You have papers proving that Sarah pulls a crumpled paper from her bag. Shows it quick. Here, notarized power of attorney, all legal. The guy looks closer. This isn't signed by the owner. Yes, it is. There's her signature. Ma'am, I've worked moves 15 years. I know fake signatures. This ain't real. Sarah stuffs the paper away rough. Look, I'll pay you double if you help me get in. I just need to grab some things. Quick. The guys look at each other. One shakes his head. No, this ain't right. We're out. I'll pay $3,000, cash, now. $3,000, to help her rob me. The guys hesitate, but finally two nod. The third steps away. I don't want trouble. He heads to the elevator. Sarah and the two remaining guys start forcing the door. One pulls a tool, starts working the lock. My phone buzzes. Text from Olivia. Police on the way. ETA 5 minutes. 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, everything changes. The door gives. Opens. Sarah goes in first, flips on the lights, and the two guys follow. That sofa first. Sarah orders, pointing to my leather couch I bought 3 years ago. And that table. Those vases. Everything worth taking. The guys get to work. Lift the sofa. Move it toward the door. The cameras catch every move from 3 different angles. Sarah goes to my bedroom. I see her open my closet, check the jewelry box again. Pulls out more stuff. Necklaces, bracelets, earrings. All gifts from my late husband. All sentimental value more than cash. But to her, just things to sell. She comes back to the living room. Pulls out her phone. Makes another call. Yeah, I'm in. Had to force the door, but we're good. We're hauling stuff now. Pause. Listening to someone. No, she's not here. She's at the beach. By the time she knows, we'll have everything sold. Another pause. Then a laugh. I told you this would work. The old lady's too dumb to protect herself right. Old lady. Dumb. She keeps talking. With what's here, we pull easy 20 grand. And that's without what's next. Once the judge approves guardianship, we'll have access to everything. The apartment, the beach house, the bank accounts. All of it. The person on the other end says something. Sarah laughs again. What can she do? Call the cops? She has no proof. And if she does, it just proves she's crazy. Paranoid. Exactly what we need for the incapacity case. Long pause. Then her voice turns colder. Look, I already tried the tea. But she stopped drinking it. And then I tried the sugar. I put enough sedative to keep her confused for weeks. But that didn't work either because she hasn't been in the apartment much. So we have to do this the hard way. Take what we can now and fight for the rest. My hand squeezes the phone. She's confessing. Everything. Poisoning, theft, conspiracy. And the cameras record every word. One of the guys appears in the doorway. Ma'am, this is taking too long. Someone might call the cops. Relax. No one's calling. Just grab what's left and we're out. But then I hear something else. Sirens. Faint at first, then closer. The cameras don't have outdoor audio, but I see Sarah tense, go to the window, look down, and her face goes pale. No. She runs to the guys. Leave it all. Let's go. Now. But it's too late. The hallway cameras show the exact moment the elevator doors open and 4 cops step out, uniformed hands on weapons approaching my open door. Police. Nobody move. I see Sarah try to run to the other exit. How one cop stops her, pushes her against the wall, cuffs her. "Let me go. You don't understand. I have the right to be here. This apartment's mine. Ma'am, you're under arrest for breaking and entering private property." No, call my husband. He'll explain, his mom gave me permission. The owner, Mrs. Emily Anderson, filed a complaint. We have an arrest warrant. The 2 guys get cuffed too. One yells he just works for the moving company, didn't know anything. The other stays quiet, head down. I watch them drag Sarah out of my apartment. How she screams, fights, insists she's innocent. How neighbors come out of their apartments watching, whispering. My phone rings. "Olivia, you saw it, all of it. The recordings are going to the DA now. We don't just have breaking and entering. We have attempted theft, forged documents, and most important, her confession on the poisoning. Emily, this is a solid criminal case." I stay silent for a moment. Processing. After months of manipulation, feeling invisible, doubting myself, finally justice. And now what? Now Sarah spends the night at the station. Tomorrow she has a bail hearing. We'll present all the evidence. The recordings, the lab analysis on the sugar, everything. The DA will ask to deny bail because she's a danger. And Ethan Olivia sighs. That's the hard part. Ethan doesn't show up in any recordings doing anything illegal. Sarah acted alone. We can prove she planned it all, she trespassed, she poisoned the sugar. But Ethan, we have no proof he knew. He had to know. Maybe. But legally, we need proof. And right now, we don't. I hang up. Stay sitting on the bed watching dawn through the window. The sky turns orange and pink. The ocean's calm. My phone buzzes again. A text. From Ethan. "Mom, please. I need to talk to you. Sarah's arrested. I don't understand what's happening. Please call me." I stare at the text for a long time. My son. The man I raised. The man who chose a criminal over his own mother. I don't reply. Not yet. The bail hearing is 3 days later. Olivia insists I be there. They need to see you. Need to see you're not a confused old lady like Sarah wants them to think. Need to see a strong, coherent woman who knows exactly what was done to her. I dress carefully that morning. A gray pantsuit, white blouse, closed shoes. Nothing flashy, just professional, dignified. Linda comes with me, sits beside me in the courtroom, squeezing my hand. When they bring Sarah in, I almost don't recognize her. No makeup, messy hair, orange jail uniform. She looks small, vulnerable. But when her eyes meet mine, I see the same coldness. Ethan is there too, in the back row. He looks wrecked. Red eyes, wrinkled clothes like he hasn't slept in days. He looks at me pleading. I look away. The judge enters, a woman around 50. Serious expression. She reviews documents quietly, then speaks. "Ms. Sarah Land, you're charged with breaking and entering attempted theft, document forgery, and attempted poisoning. How do you plead?" Sarah's lawyer, a young guy in a cheap suit, stands. "Not guilty, Your Honor. My client had reason to be in that apartment. Her mother-in-law has dementia and gave verbal permission." The judge looks skeptical. "You have proof of that verbal permission. Not at this time, but..." Then it's not relevant. The judge turns to the prosecutor. Does the prosecution have evidence? The prosecutor, an older man with years of experience, stands. "Yes, Your Honor. We have video and audio recordings of the defendant entering the apartment without authorization belonging to Mrs. Emily Anderson. We have recordings of the defendant confessing to tampering with food using sedatives. We have lab analysis confirming benzodiazepines in the victim's sugar. And we have witnesses confirming the defendant forced entry with help from others." Sarah leans to her lawyer, whispering furiously. He shakes his head. "Your Honor," the prosecutor continues, "Ms. Land poses a clear danger to the victim. For months, she's been trying to make her seem mentally unfit to take her properties. She went as far as poisoning her. If bail is granted, there's risk she'll try to contact the victim or destroy more evidence." The judge looks at Sarah. "Anything to add, Ms. Land?" Sarah stands. Her voice shakes. "Your Honor, this is a horrible misunderstanding. I love my mother-in-law. Everything I did was to help her. She's confused. She doesn't understand what she's saying. The recordings are pretty clear, the judge says dryly. Those recordings are out of context. I was joking on the phone. I never poisoned anything. The lab's wrong. The judge reviews more papers. It says here you also started a legal process to get guardianship over Mrs. Anderson claiming mental incapacity. That's correct. Yes, because I was worried about her, because I love her. But Mrs. Anderson voluntarily underwent a full psych eval with Dr. John Harris, who determined she's in full mental capacity. No signs of dementia, no signs of confusion. How do you explain that? Sarah stammers. The doctor must be wrong, or she fooled him. My mother-in-law is very manipulative when she wants. Hearing that, calling me manipulative. When she's the one who planned to rob me, poison me, lock me in a nursing home. The judge closes the folder. I've heard enough. Bail denied. Ms. Land will remain in custody until trial. Given the circumstances and severity of the charges, especially attempted poisoning, I consider her a danger to the victim and society. Sarah screams. No, this isn't fair. Ethan, do something. Ethan stands. Your Honor, please. My wife wouldn't do this. There has to be a mistake. The judge looks at him. You're the victim's son. Yes. Did you know about your wife's actions? Ethan hesitates. That hesitation condemns him. She told me my mom needed help, that she was confused. I just wanted to protect her by forging documents and trying to steal her properties. No, I never. The prosecutor will determine your involvement. For now, I suggest you get a good lawyer. They take Sarah away. Screaming, crying, blaming. First she blames me, then Ethan, then the system, never herself. We leave the courtroom. In the hall, Ethan catches up. Mom, wait, please. I stop, turn, look at him really for the first time in weeks. Did you know, I ask simply, what about the poison? About the plans to sell my apartment? About the nursing home? Did you know? Ethan shakes his head, but his eyes don't meet mine straight. She told me you were bad off, that you needed help. I believed her. He believed her over me. His wife of months over his mother who raised him alone for 13 years. I didn't know it had come to this. You have to believe me. You didn't know Ethan. How many times did I tell you something was wrong? How many times did I say I felt sick after visiting? How many times did I try to tell you Sarah wasn't who she claimed, and every time you called me paranoid, said I was overreacting, made me doubt my own reality? His voice cracks. I'm sorry. You're sorry. The anger I've held for months finally comes out. I almost end up in a nursing home. Ethan, your wife poisoned me, made me feel crazy, planned to steal everything I have. And you helped her. Maybe not directly, but your silence, your denial, your choice to believe her, and not me that was helping too. Mom, please. She's my wife. I have to support her. Those words. Like a final blow. Then support her. Visit her in jail. Pay her lawyer. Stay by her side while she faces criminal charges. But don't ask me to understand. Don't ask me to forgive. Because I had to choose too. And I chose to protect myself. I chose to believe in myself when no one else did. So what, I'm not your son anymore. You'll always be my son. But that doesn't mean I have to accept how you treated me. That doesn't mean everything goes back to before, because it can't. Not after this. Linda takes my arm. Emily, let's go. I look at Ethan one last time. See the boy he was, the young man I raised, the man he's become, and realize I failed somewhere. Not in raising him, not in loving him, but in teaching him that love doesn't mean sacrificing your dignity. That family can't ask you to erase yourself. If someday you understand what you did, I say, if someday you really get the damage you caused, then we can talk. But until that day, I need distance. I turn and walk away. In the car, Linda drives quietly for a while, then speaks. You did the right thing. It doesn't feel right. It never does at first. But in time you'll see it was necessary. That night alone at the beach house, I sit on the deck watching the ocean. My phone buzzes. Text from Olivia. The DA's proceeding with all charges against Sarah. Trial in 3 months. Your testimony will be key. You ready? I look at the text. 3 months. 3 months of waiting, of remembering, of reliving, but also 3 months of healing, of rebuilding, of learning to be myself again. I reply, I'm ready, and I am. Because for the first time in a long time, I'm not scared. I have clarity, I have strength, and I have something Sarah could never take. I have my truth. The trial comes 3 months later. During that time, I live peacefully at the beach house. Linda visits every weekend. My walking group friends call often send support texts, pics of their lives. Susan sends a video of her granddaughter dancing. Tina shares healthy recipes, small gestures reminding me I'm not alone. I go back to the gym, take up yoga classes again, cut my hair shorter, a change I've wanted for a while but never dared, take selfies with Linda at the salon and post them on WhatsApp. I feel alive again, free. Ethan tries calling several times those months. I don't answer. I'm not ready, maybe never will be, and I have to accept that. The day of the trial, I arrive early, in a light blue dress, simple but elegant. Olivia waits at the courthouse entrance. She asks, "Ready?" The courtroom's full. People I don't know. Press. Apparently the case caught attention. A story about an older woman fighting back against a manipulative daughter-in-law resonates with many. Sarah comes in with her lawyer. She looks different, thinner, shorter hair, but the eyes are the same, cold, calculating. The trial lasts 2 weeks. They present evidence after evidence. The camera recordings play in the room. I see the jury react when they hear Sarah confess about the poisoning, see their disgusted faces when they watch her rifling through my drawers, stealing my things, planning my lockup. The sugar lab analysis gets presented. The doctor who analyzed it testifies the benzodiazepine amounts found are enough to cause severe confusion, short-term memory loss, disorientation symptoms, easily mistaken for dementia. Dr. John Harris, the forensic psychologist, testifies about my eval. Explains in detail, I am fully capable, no cognitive decline, an intelligent, articulate woman in full control of her mental faculties. David, the security guard, testifies about the early morning Sarah showed with the guys, confirms she claimed to be the new owner, tried to take my belongings. The moving workers who went with her testify too. One, the guy who refused, explains, Sarah offered $3,000 to help force entry, showed fake documents. And finally, it's my turn. I take the stand, swear to tell the truth, sit facing a room full of strangers who now know the most intimate details of my life. The prosecutor asks questions about my relationship with Ethan, about how I met Sarah, about the changes I noticed, about the dizziness, about the manipulations, about the fear. I speak with a clear, firm voice, no crying, no drama, just the truth. She made me doubt myself. I say at one point, made me feel like I was losing my mind, that my age made me incapable. And the worst is, I almost believed her, almost accepted maybe I was confused, maybe I did need someone else making decisions for me. But then I realized something important. What did you realize, the prosecutor asks? That being 60 doesn't make me incompetent, that being widowed doesn't make me vulnerable, that living alone doesn't make me weak. I'm a woman who worked her whole life, who raised a son alone, who bought her own properties with her own money. And no one has the right to take that from me. No one has the right to make me feel less than I am. I see several women in the audience nod, see tears in some eyes. Sarah's lawyer tries to discredit me in cross-exam, asks about my age, if I take meds, if I sometimes forget things. But each question has a clear answer. I don't take meds. I don't forget things. And my age isn't a disease. After 2 weeks, the jury deliberates. 3 hours later, they return with the verdict. Guilty. On all counts. Sarah screams. Her lawyer tries to calm her, but there's nothing to do. The evidence was overwhelming. Sentencing comes a week later. 5 years in prison for breaking and entering theft document forgery. 3 more years for attempted poisoning. 8 years total. When the judge gives the ruling, I feel something strange. Not joy, not satisfaction. It's closure. It's confirmation my truth matters. That defending my dignity was worth it. I leave the courthouse with Olivia and Linda. Outside, there are cameras, reporters. Several ask for statements. Olivia speaks for me, saying we're satisfied with the outcome, hope this case serves as an example. But one reporter comes right to me. Mrs. Anderson, anything to say to other women who might be going through similar situations? I look at the camera. Think of all the women who wrote me during the trial. Older women feeling invisible in their families, doubting themselves, accepting mistreatment because they think it's their duty as mothers, as grandmas. Yes, I say. If something doesn't feel right, trust your gut, no matter how old you are, no matter if people tell you you're overreacting or paranoid. You know your life, you know your mind, and you have the right to protect yourself. You have the right to say no. You have the right to set boundaries, even with family, especially with family. That night at the beach house, I sit on the deck with a glass of wine. The ocean's calm, the sky full of stars. My phone buzzes, a text from Ethan. Mom, I saw the verdict. You were right about everything. I don't know how to ask for forgiveness. I don't know if you ever can, but I need you to know I regret it. All of it. Not listening, choosing wrong, making you suffer. I'm filing for divorce. I don't want anything to do with someone who could hurt you. I love you, always have. And if someday you want to talk, I'll be here. I read the text several times. Feel something soften in my chest. Not forgiveness yet, but maybe with time it could be. I don't reply that night, but I save the text. The next months are about rebuilding. I sell the city apartment. Too many dark memories there. Buy a smaller, more modern one near the gym and my friends. A new place for a new chapter. I travel. To Spain, where my niece welcomes me with open arms. To Argentina, where I've always wanted to go. To places I put off for years because there was always something more important. I sign up for painting classes, find out I like it. I'm not good, but it doesn't matter. It's mine, my time, my passion. Linda and I start a small business together. Accounting advice for older women needing help with finances. There's a real need. Many women who never handled money, who depend on kids or family, who feel lost. We help them, teach them, give them tools to be independent. A year after the trial, Ethan and I meet for coffee. It's awkward at first. But we talk. Really talk. Him about his therapy, learning to spot manipulation, his divorce process. Me about my new life, travels, business. We don't go back to what we were. That relationship died, but we're building something new, something based on mutual respect, clear boundaries, honesty. One afternoon, 2 years after it all, I'm at the salon with Linda, getting our nails done, laughing at something silly when my phone buzzes. A text from my niece in Spain with a pic of her newborn baby. Linda looks at me. Everything good, I smile. Yeah, everything's good. And it is, finally, because I've learned the most important lesson of my life. Taking care of others is beautiful, but taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's survival, it's dignity, it's self-love. For so many years I took care of everyone. My husband when he was sick, Ethan growing up, whoever needed me. But finally, after 62 years, it's me deciding who to care for. And I choose me. And that choice saved my life.